Is there a recipe for an extraordinary marriage? You better believe there is. It's just a matter of knowing what to do and doing it. When I was in my mid-20s, I purchased a bread machine, and my first loaves of bread were really disappointing. I was convinced it was the machine, so I purchased another one, and then another one. And finally, one day I thought, the only common variable with all these machines is me. What the heck am I doing wrong? Well, if you're a baker, you've probably discovered that a muffin, a scone, a cookie, and a quick bread have pretty much the same ingredients, but in different proportions, and there are different steps in the process of making your favorite delight. There's also a few nuances, such as it's typical to use baking powder in a quick bread and baking soda in a cookie. If you want your muffin to rise high, you put it in a really hot oven at first and then you lower the temperature. Well, it's the same with marriage. There's a recipe for a great relationship, and often it's just the knowing of how to do something that makes the difference between success and failure. It took me decades to hone the skills and knowledge of how to communicate with my man, the magnitude of the importance of frequent and gratifying sex in a marriage, and ultimately how to create the optimal environment for falling back in love with my mate. A few of the biggest game changers occurred once I discovered how I am the catalyst for change in my relationship. That whatever I want more of in my marriage, whether it be love, respect, appreciation, quality time, or even sex, I have to first do my part to infuse those elements into my marriage. And that often the biggest problems I look to change in my mate miraculously evaporate when I discover what I need to change from within. And the best way to create a lifelong love affair is to never stop pursuing my mate like a prize worthy of my pursuit. If you're not happy with your marriage but understand how there could be a recipe for success, the great news is that you realize it. It's only with recognition, this awareness, that a great change is possible. Rough times are temporal. All marriages go through seasons, and after a harsh winter, spring is about to blossom. Know that with most things in life, there's the way you do it and there's an optimal way to do it. When you discover the recipe for success, whether it be with sex, love, money, communication, or baking for that matter, there are distinctions that have the power to change your marriage in a massive way and in the twinkling of an eye when you discover and consistently implement them.